across from the Oak Street Beach is a museum housing some of the most gruesome exhibits you're ever likely to see. No matter how you cut it, surgery is not pretty. Margaret.
Hi, I'm Margaret.
Yes, tell us where we are.
We're at the International Museum of Surgical Science.
I say we go to the top floor and work our way down.
I like that idea.
How did this museum get started?
Well, in 1954, Max Thorak opened up this museum to highlight the international sense of the history of surgery, and we've been open ever since.
As we walked into this room, I see some skulls with holes in them. What's that all about?
This is the oldest form of surgery. Basically, these are 4,000-year-old skulls from Peru, and what they did was they used these really primordial-looking tools to drill holes into their head.
Very basic.
Very basic, exactly. If they were experiencing headaches or were thought to be crazy, they'd go ahead and drill holes in their head to allow the evil spirits out.
At what point did these surgeons figure out, hey, all we're doing really is breaking people's heads open and possibly killing them?
You know, not until about 75, 80 years ago. It's amazing. This is a kind of an all-purpose surgical kit from the 1700s. What this held was the surgeon's instrument for amputation, for probing. The patient would be rather relieved when the patient saw this very nice, at one time very nice box, and the patient would think, oh, this doctor's got great taste.
Well, you know, no matter how nice his box is, if somebody came at me with a hacksaw, I'd probably have some problems with it.
These are 19th century prosthetics.
They've attempted to sort of paint that one a flesh color and put a glove on it to sort of make it look human. Didn't quite work out, though, did it?
No, I think it fooled a couple of people, but not everybody.
These are hardly human-looking fingers, either.
No, more robotic, I would think, don't you? This is a bone crusher, okay? So just imagine this. You have a child. The child is born with bow legs, so go ahead and insert the leg into this position. Pull this back sort of like that crank. It sort of pulls back. Place it there, and all of a sudden let it go, crack, and it just snaps it.
Are you a surgeon, sir?
No, just about a PhD in the see someone.
Nurse. So you must be pleased with the way things have progressed since then.
Oh, yeah.
You've got some nice paintings in this room. Is that a cesarean happening?
That's right. This time period that you're looking at right now, the priest, who was a trained physician, told the people what to do, and then this handyman essentially would go ahead and do the dirty work for the priest.
So basically, it was a plumber working on your body.
Oh yeah, the barber. That's the whole thing about the barber. The pole, the red and the white and the black. It meant that he can not only cut your toenails, give you a nice haircut and shave, but cut for stones and bleed you at the same time. Kind of your.
The guy was versatile.
This guy lived in about 1850 or so. And keep in mind that Angel stood at about 5'8", but this is his actual head.
This is the actual size of his head?
Yes.
The man had a huge head.
He was a Neanderthal man, just like a medical anomaly. Of course, they say the bigger the brain, the dumber you are. I don't know.
And then let me tell you something. He took a trip to Stupidville. At least he wasn't given blood from a horse or a mule. What?
Before the time of blood typing, if a man or a woman or a child needed blood, they'd go ahead. Come here, Fido. Go ahead and stick something into Fido. Stick another tube right into me and give it to me, because then they thought that I was being rejuvenated with the body's blood.
And then what would happen to that blood?
My veins would probably explode and I would die of, you know, great, awful, painful death. Okay. That would be bad.
Even in that day and age, they made you cough, huh?
Yeah, it looks like, doesn't it?
Did they have rubber gloves back then?
No. Au natural.
This looks like a torso that's even more so.
If somebody had a corrective spinal injury, this would be utilized in order to prop them up straight.
Isn't it true that you do have some sadomasochists that's sort of interested in some of this stuff and might even purchase it for their own use if they could?
Oh, if they could. And they come with all their black attire and their choke chains. They just sort of pull their mate along and they look at all the stuff and they ask all sorts of creepy questions.
What, pray tell, is this man's ailment?
Elephantitis of the scrotum.
Yeah, that had to be painful. The guy looks stoic. He doesn't look that upset.
He looks kind of pissed, don't you think?
You wouldn't be angry?
Well, I'd be, you know, it's his fault.
That scrotum is bigger than most human heads.
Let's go to the gallstones, kidney stones, and bladder stones. That's also a very popular exhibit here. Those are gallstones.
I hesitate to ask how this thing was passed.
Okay, that probably burst the organ in which it grew.
What about this thing?
It's a kidney stone. It kind of grew into the organ itself and then eventually burst.
There's no way this guy lived, is that what you're saying?
Oh, no. Oh, no. No.
Margaret, if somebody wants to view the tonsilotome or other instruments that you have here, where should they go?
1524 North Lakeshore Drive at the International Museum of Surgical Science.
Phone number?
Area code 312-642-6502. Say ah.